She wants love, but she's afraid to let go. It's been rough, past hurt has left us all cold. She's tried and she's cried, has thirsted.
Dre from Jerz was born Rory Bembridge in August of 1975. His hometown is Montclair, New Jersey. He is the son of West Indian Caribbean parents and has 3 brothers. Both Rory and his younger brother were born in the U.S.
Rory was creative and artistic at an early age of 3 years old. Since age 3 in his years growing up, Rory became known for his ability to draw pictures. In elementary and middle school, most of his peers acknowledged him for his innate drawing skills. Rory collected comic books and could be found on many occasions creating comic-style stories of his own.
Around the age of 12, Rory started to develop an interest in the popular urban music of his era. He listened to everything from KRS-One, Madonna, to The Boys, a young urban boy group from back in the day. During that time period, Rory had an electronic keyboard which he would try to play but had no clue music was going to be in his future. At one point, Rory would encourage his younger sibling, who was probably around 6 or 7, to join him in making a rap album. Rory gathered his music collection and looked for singles with instrumentals. Sometimes both he and his brother would rap over songs with the vocals. The 2 of them had fun putting out 2 projects, but nothing came out of it.
During the high school years, Rory became intrigued with boom bap, hardcore, and gangsta rap music. When school was over, Rory hurried home to watch Video Music Box with VJ Ralph McDaniels. When Special Ed's I Got It Made came on, Rory was grooving while eating cereal or a light snack. There were moments when schoolmates would stop by just to come over and freestyle on Rory's dad's stereo equipment. When this happened, Rory felt a strong connection to the hip-hop culture as a whole. It was within these times where Rory mainly looked on as a spectator and never really believed himself to be an artist. He always wanted to participate, but didn't know how to pivot onto the rap scene.
So, Dre from Jerz, welcome back to the Mental Margarita Show. We are so excited because we are in the middle of sharing your documentary with everyone, with the audience. They're hearing your music, they're getting a chance to hear your story, find out where you're from, where you're headed, what you're working on. So we're so excited. You have made a personal commitment to also speak openly about your mental health issues that you deal with on a regular basis. And, that takes a lot of courage to be able to talk about it. And it's not always easy for people to talk about. But you are one of thousands. I also deal with and struggle with some mental health issues myself. And, it's one day at a time for us. And some days are better than others, and we, it's just something that we have to work on and be aware of. And we thank you for being willing to share this with the audience so that others can understand and know maybe that they're not alone and that it's okay, and it's okay to talk about it.
First I want to say thank you for having me back on and expressing giving me an opportunity to express myself and let people know where I'm coming from. But with my diagnosis, it's more of it's a manic thing where if untreated, you can get yourself in. I can get myself in all sorts of trouble. It's kind of more specifically, it's like your mind takes you somewhere else, like almost like another world. You have random thoughts. Some of them are quote unquote. Some people would say delusional, or was it grandeur, delusions of grandeur, or something of that nature. Mm-hmm. But where you think all sorts of stuff, like, for example, that you're related to someone famous, or you're a superstar, or things of that nature. Like, these are things that like cross your mind when you're going through these manic episodes. And in my case, I've come in contact with like the law. You know, it has gotten me to that point. But luckily, the people I've dealt with, in the law, in the sense of the law enforcement and things of that nature, they were quote unquote understanding of my situation. So that's something I'm very appreciative of, that they gave me an opportunity to kind of like correct myself. And I'm being treated for it in regards with medication. Not really so much therapy, because I've tried multiple therapists, but none have been, one out of maybe 20 have been helpful in my case, where you know, I wanted the opportunity to express myself and get things off my chest, but more so with the therapist, they were most of them were more technical, where they wanted to give me like almost like assignments to work with, and I just wasn't really feeling that. So it took a lot of me realizing what my problem was and trying to address it, like through education, like self-education, like reading up on it, trying to get a better understanding of it, and just keeping an open mind and realizing that it's going to take a huge effort on my part to create the life I want. And that's what I would recommend anyone out there who's going through the same thing, to grab life by the reins, and you know, because nobody has your best interest at heart more so than you.
Many bad life experiences and failed personal relationships later, Rory found himself at a crossroad. You see, through an unexpected manic episode, Rory had to seek medical treatment and was diagnosed with bipolar manic depression with a mild case of schizophrenia. What Rory had determined through the following therapy was that there may have been some repressed memories due to undisclosed childhood trauma. It wasn't until when a therapist had recommended that Rory take up poetry that he eventually found his niche and went on to attend various open mics.
In fall of 2006, Rory rejoined younger brother along with Rory's former schoolmate to perform a song called My Life at the Nuyorican Poets Cafe in New York City. The trio was applauded for their performance. Sometime after, Rory and his former schoolmate formed a rap group called The Nothings. They soon disbanded after a poor performance occurred at another open mic, and the two couldn't settle their disagreement.
Later on, Rory discovered beatmaking. Whenever he heard his favorite song, Rory always wanted to know more about music production. Every once in a while, he would catch the writing bug and create a song as well as freestyle in his room. Rory, in most cases, felt the content of his songs were too raw and emotional. This prevented him from getting back into the public eye right away.
It was the untimely passing of activist and entrepreneur Nipsey Hussle in 2019 that marked the moment Rory, pka Dre from Jerz, would take music a little more seriously. Dre from Jerz denotes listening to a lot of YouTube beats to discover new music producers as another source of inspiration. The song Meet You Out West by Dre from Jerz and produced by DW and Plus One is more of a dedication to Nipsey Hussle than an actual event.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be your host for this evening, Dre from Jerz. Guess what? I'm gonna meet you out west, East Coast, my home. I'm so fresh dressed, gotta show a lot of love to the west side. Heard the Cali girls be the best, in bikinis tanning, showing flesh. Wanna see for myself, so I flex. Shorty gave me her number with a text. My goal is to stroll the boulevard, planning for what comes next. Give the world my all, with style and finesse. If the marathon continues, may my last lap be the best. Call me the real deal, this ain't no test. California love, California dreaming. From Jersey to LA, I be him, the man. Others try, but can't see him. They'd rather me die than see me win. Okay, let's get it. I'ma meet you out west. I'ma meet you out west. They say the west side be the best side. We ride, we ride, we ride. Vision of tall palm trees, cool Pacific breeze on Venice Beach, sipping iced tea, checking out the ladies. Weather's hot, with only a wrist on freeze. An icon in the making. Take pics, I say cheese. People love Cool Dre. Cruise from Sacktown to the Bay. Make sure you tap in. The real G's don't play. Home of the home invade. Get caught tripping.
They let those things spray.
Things can heat up, relay, quickly. You can have fun, just don't go the wrong way. Peep out some sights, do my two-step in the club ride. Get up on a honey tip, close tied. Underneath the strobe lights, at night the Hollywood sign is bright. I enjoy myself to the morning light. My vacay is over, time to take flight. Let's go. Let's get out love for ya. Knows how to party. California knows how to party. Yes, they do. I'ma meet you out west. I'ma meet you out west. They say the west side be the best side. We ride, we ride, we ride. I gotta buckle down. I gotta, even if things aren't perfect, you gotta kind of like, create that environment for yourself where you are able to function in society. That because one of my things is that I'm kind of like socially awkward. I mean, I have no problem speaking with people one on one, but in terms of even in groups, I could speak in front of large crowds, but as long as I know what I'm talking about. But as far as like making friends and things like that, like those are kind of like lost art for me as far as in my older years, more so than my younger years. So those are things that I concentrate on, trying to be a better person. I even have some difficulties to this day of managing my manic episodes and things of that nature. Because in the moment, it's like I'm conscious of it, but it's like a different part of my mind or my brain takes over. It's like it thinks certain things are real versus things not being real. And come to find out, when I do get grounded again, like when I do come to my quote unquote senses, come to find out that what I was thinking was not real, but in the moment, it seemed real, it looked real, it felt real, but it took having me to go into the hospital to kind of like settle down and come to grips with reality. So unfortunately, in many of my cases, it was never a checklist. I mean, you could say that my family members may have had a checklist of when they noticed certain things about me that wasn't right, and they would like, I have a younger brother that kind of like, he's like, oh, I could tell when you're about to get into that mode again. So those are things that I have to be conscious of.
Of course, we want people to educate themselves, to be aware I'm glad that you mentioned about law enforcement. It's their awareness too that helps separate an illness from a criminal act, and that's important.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah,
important
definitely.
because those outcomes and consequences are going to stay with you, forever. So, the
Exactly.
fact that they can be part of our team, on our team, to help us in a positive way and
Yeah.
through understanding and awareness, is so important.
Dre from Jerz is a hip hop recording artist, music producer, and songwriter. His style has a main concentration of boom bap rap or conscious rap, with a somewhat offbeat and unique flow. He's versatile. He can rap outside his comfort zone on occasion. He was born with great creative prowess, showing his gifts since the age of 3 as soon as he can hold a pencil. He began rapping more and more. He draws his musical inspiration from old school and modern artists such as Kanye West, Jay-Z, Wu-Tang Clan, Rough Riders, Lauryn Hill, Eminem, and Tupac. The basement of his home was turned into a makeshift recording space with a mic taped to the ceiling. Although Dre from Jerz listens to hardcore rap, he doesn't consider himself a gangster rapper or a pursuer of trap rap. His style is predominantly rooted in the 90s era boom bap rap. He's a great collaborator too. He has worked with artists like Kwanzaa from Blackout Tuesday Part 2, S Savage, Champion Status Remix, G Campbell, Blackout Tuesday Encore, Trill, Wet Wet, S.L6, and Mila Akila from Trials and Tribulations, Aim and Bomb, Big Bang Drip.
But what's the first thing you would tell someone, that they're having something similar to what you're describing? What should they do? What was the turning point where you said, okay, I need help and or this has been identified as this? Where's a good place for someone to start?
Well, it's going to sound very basic, but I would have to say, truthfully, honestly, a person has to start with themselves. And what I mean by that is that you have people that may be going through the same thing that I'm going through that are totally not aware of what's up or what's down. So it's a matter of you making that connection within yourself to say, hey, I have a problem. You have to admit, like, how they usually say, you have to first admit the problem, that you have a problem before you can even address it. So
Right.
more so, you have to come to the realization that I do have an issue. I have great difficulty functioning around, social situations. And to begin there, number one, to come to that realization, and like you said, of course, educate yourself and look to people within your circle who are of good good natured, that are understanding of your situation, and look to them for guidance and assistance, and maybe ask them a few questions, and maybe they can help you stay in check, so to speak, and keep you in line. If they notice something out of whack, they be like, hey, they can point that out, but like, hey, I noticed something going on with you. Is everything okay? Because there's not a lot of that happening nowadays. More so, people are just like going about their business. No one really cares about the next person. But if you have good people in your circle, then I think that's very beneficial. That's very beneficial, because luckily I have my family that really kept me grounded for most of my situations.
Thank you for sharing that advice and sharing this experience with others so that they can take those steps towards
Yes,
healing and embarking on that journey and discovering, we have to learn, like you said, about ourselves and love ourselves because we're worth it. And
exactly.
we deserve the best quality of life, and we deserve to be living at our full potential, and we can do that with our healthy minds and our spirits and our bodies, and be able to take care of all parts of ourselves,
Yeah,
not
definitely.
just we got to
The
take care of it
physical.
all, our spiritual, our mental, our physical.
Yeah, it's a good thing you mentioned that in regard to like loving yourself. I definitely recommend that people do not give up on themselves. Do not give up because you're going through great difficulty. Because trust and believe me, take it from a person who's made some very. Luckily, I have some sort of spiritual belief, but take it from a person that's done a few things that could have really went left. But do not give up on yourself. It's not your fault. Don't blame yourself. Believe in yourself. You gotta believe in yourself. That's another thing I want to suggest is that a person who's going through something similar definitely have to believe in themselves and do not take blame. Do not just try to be in a positive spirit about your situation, and just realize that it's a part of you, but it's not what makes you. It's a part. It may be a part of you, but it's not what makes you. It could be, for all we know, it could be a gift and a curse, so to speak. So you got flip it and make it into something positive.
And we thank you for taking this time out to talk about mental health and talk about your situation, your experience. You can share that with others and offer them hope.
I appreciate that.
Thank you so much we enjoyed having you on the show. And
thank you.
We're gonna get back to your story now.
Yes, can't wait. All right.
Well, you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, most definitely. You do the same.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right. Yeah, it had soul. And it had a little heart. That's right. Now I reckon it's steady tearing it apart. Oh man. I miss the days when real rap had its spark. Shout out to those who've been true since the beginning. Since the start. Pioneers in the game. Run DMC. Okay. LL Cool J. Yeah. Curtis Blow. R.I.P. Jam Master J. Fucking fresh and grit. Day to day. Get cool hurt. In the early days, they held down the rap game. Yeah, come on. Let's go. Let's get it now. This is my ode to hip hop. 1, 2, 1, 2. Hey, don't stop. This hard form. Took it to the top. This is my ode to hip hop. From the BX to all across the world.
He is one of many who suffer from mental health issues. As such, he aims to use his musical talent and record label to reach out to many and write stories that inspire them to heal and prioritize their mental well-being. He also aims to write a script for a movie and possibly a self-help book to spread the message even broader and better. Dre's journey is that of a hero. He has come through bumps and bruises to where he currently is. His future is exciting for him and his worldwide fans. For many years, Dre from Jerz considered himself an outcast from society due to the way he thinks. He's an intelligent man, yet believes his potential hasn't been fully unlocked, which he aims to unravel going forward. More is still to come from him. He's presently registered with the Performing Rights Organization / Society, better known as BMI.
She won't stop, but she's afraid to let go. It's been rough. Past hurt has left us cold. She's tried and she's cried. Has her still stories untold. She screams and she pleads, hoping that she can let go.
Every night and day, I wake, shiver and shake, with thoughts of the love. After I take my mind down memory lane, I feel lost in pain. Me and I dance under the stars, all in my mental, in my brain. The tears drop like rain, showering me with love. Lost, I lean on your shoulder, I feel the force and words that reside in the depths of your soul. I toss a coin and make a wish, dreaming of you, coming over to make my favorite dish. wish. What is bliss? Man and woman, join with the hips. The creator did this. Aramis, never seen a kiss. Yo, get it. Come on. Yeah. Flow with me. Come on. Yeah.
She won't show, but she's afraid to let go. It's been rough. Past hurt has left us so cold. She's tried and she's cried. Has her still stories untold.
You're starstruck, here's a sprinkle of the stardust. Hold your champagne glass and your cigars up. See the guys with mob ties drive the cars up. Bright lights, most nights they buy the bars up. Candy coated Chevy cars on the highway. It's Frankie baby, it's on and this is my way. Dean Martin at the Sands this Friday. With Sammy Davis, here's a little hint where I stay. The city shines like Liberace's mansion, and you know Elvis had the whole city dancing. Showgirl silhouette steady prancing. Shout out to June, just the Copa Girls anthem. Legal gambling, yeah, that would tempt me. It's Sin City, holy water couldn't cleanse me. And Wayne Newton had the crowd in a frenzy. Live at the Stardust, the seats never empty. Now if you having a good time in Las Vegas, at the count of 3, I wanna hear you scream, Viva Las Vegas. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Viva Las Vegas! And Main Street was the official local beer stop. Enough slot machine noise to make your ears pop.